What if I told you that one of the most pivotal moments in history could have gone completely differently, changing the fate of an entire nation and reshaping the course of human civilization? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel, and over the past decade I've immersed myself in historical research and biblical scholarship, gathering insights from countless experts, ancient texts, and even first-hand archaeological explorations. Today, I'm here to share with you a mind-blowing alternate reality. What if Moses did not part the waters? Now, before you dismiss this as pure speculation or mere what-if fantasy, let me assure you that I've spent years studying the historical, cultural, and spiritual implications of this event, and what I'm about to share is backed by deep research and a genuine passion for exploring our shared past. I know that some of you might be skeptics, and that's perfectly fine because questioning what we think we know is the very essence of discovery. I'm not here to convert anyone or to change your beliefs, but rather to invite you on a journey into the unknown, to challenge the narrative we've grown up with, and to see what might have been if that miraculous event hadn't occurred. Imagine a scenario where the Red Sea remained an impassable wall of water, where Moses, despite his faith and determination, could not command the waters to retreat. Picture the Israelites, huddled together in fear, facing not a pathway to salvation but a seemingly insurmountable barrier. This is not just an exercise in fantasy, it's a thought experiment that forces us to confront the importance of miracles, faith, and leadership in shaping history. Without that pivotal moment of divine intervention, the entire Exodus story might have taken a drastically different turn. Instead of a miraculous escape from slavery, we could have witnessed a prolonged period of oppression, internal conflict, or even a complete collapse of the fledgling community. It makes you wonder about the role of singular events in the grand tapestry of history and how one decision or one act of faith can alter the destiny of millions. Now, let's delve deeper into this alternate timeline. In the absence of the miraculous parting of the sea, the Israelites, already weakened by years of oppression and hardship, might have been forced to remain in Egypt far longer than they ever did. This prolonged bondage could have led to even greater despair and disillusionment among the people. The story of liberation, which is so central to the identity and faith of so many, might have been replaced by a tale of endless suffering and lost hope. Without that moment of deliverance, the narrative of a chosen people, handpicked to rise above their circumstances through divine intervention, might have never taken root. And if that foundational myth never solidified, what would have become of the subsequent cultural and religious evolution that has influenced billions across millennia? I've often reflected on the profound impact that single moments of faith and divine intervention can have on the course of human events. In my travels and studies, I've encountered communities that have built their entire identity around miraculous events, and I've seen firsthand how these narratives empower individuals to overcome insurmountable challenges. The parting of the Red Sea is more than just an exciting story. It's a symbol of hope, resilience, and the belief that sometimes, the impossible is not only possible but necessary for progress. Now, if Moses hadn't been able to part the waters, it would not just have been a setback in a physical journey, but a deep psychological blow to the entire community. Imagine the loss of collective faith, the shattering of a unifying symbol that held them together in the darkest of times. But let's not stop at the immediate consequences. Think about the ripple effects that would have spread far beyond the borders of ancient Egypt. The Exodus is a cornerstone of not just Jewish history but also a major influence on Christianity and Islam. If that miraculous event had never occurred, the theological underpinnings of these religions might have evolved in a completely different direction. The idea of a personal, direct intervention by the divine in human affairs might have been replaced by a more abstract or even nihilistic worldview. Religions might have focused more on human agency rather than the idea that a higher power can step in and alter fate at a moment's notice. This shift in perspective could have had enormous implications for how societies organized themselves, how leaders were chosen, and how laws and ethics were formulated. One of the most fascinating aspects of this thought experiment is considering the political ramifications. In the actual narrative, the Exodus set the stage for the formation of a nation united by a common destiny and belief. Without that defining moment, the Israelites might have struggled to find a unifying cause or identity. This could have led to fragmentation, with different groups splintering off, each with its own interpretation of their plight. The idea of a cohesive, divinely guided nation might have been replaced by a series of competing factions, each vying for power and control. This fragmentation could have left the region more vulnerable to external forces, potentially altering the balance of power in the ancient Near East. Empires might have risen and fallen under different circumstances, and the ripple effects of such changes could have been felt for centuries. From a cultural standpoint, the impact would have been equally profound. The story of Moses and the parting of the Red Sea has inspired countless works of art, literature, music, and film. It's a tale of triumph against all odds, a narrative that celebrates the power of faith and perseverance. Without that miracle, the cultural landscape of the Western world, and indeed the world at large, would have been significantly less rich. Our literature might not have the same depth of allegory, our art might not be as filled with symbols of divine intervention, and our collective imagination might lack one of its most powerful stories of liberation. It's not an exaggeration to say that this single event has colored the canvas of human creativity for thousands of years, and without it, the tapestry of cultural expression might have been far more muted. I want to share a personal reflection here. As I studied these ancient narratives, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the way these stories have shaped not only my understanding of history but also my perspective on life. They remind me that in moments of darkness, a single act of courage or a leap of faith can illuminate the path forward. It's a lesson that transcends time and place, one that encourages us to face our own challenges with the belief that something greater is at work. The parting of the Red Sea is not just a miracle from the past, it's a metaphor for the transformative power of hope and resilience. Without it, we might have been left with a narrative devoid of that spark, a story that failed to inspire and uplift. Now, consider the broader implications on religious thought and spiritual practice. For centuries, theologians and philosophers have debated the nature of miracles and divine intervention. Many argue that miracles are necessary to remind us of the mystery and majesty of the divine, to show us that there is a force beyond our understanding guiding the universe. If Moses had failed to part the sea, this might have led to a crisis of faith, not just among the Israelites but also among those who looked to this event as evidence of divine favor and protection. The absence of a miracle in such a critical moment could have prompted a re-evaluation of what it means to believe, possibly shifting the focus from miraculous salvation to a more human-centered struggle for survival. This shift might have resulted in a more secular society, one where human ingenuity and perseverance were the sole drivers of progress, but perhaps at the cost of the wonder and mystery that have inspired so many throughout the ages. Moreover, the geopolitical landscape of the ancient world could have been drastically different. The Exodus, as we know it, set in motion a series of events that not only defined a people but also influenced neighboring nations. The story of liberation and divine justice resonated far and wide, serving as a powerful counter-narrative to the oppressive regimes of the time. Had that miracle not occurred, the message of hope and deliverance might have been lost, leaving the ancient Near East with a legacy of domination and despair rather than one of renewal and liberation. Empires and kingdoms, inspired by the tale of Moses, might have forged alliances or waged wars with different motivations, and the cultural and political map of the region would likely have been unrecognizable compared to what we know today. In pondering these possibilities, we are not merely engaging in idle speculation. We are, in essence, exploring the delicate interplay between faith, history, and human agency. The parting of the Red Sea is a powerful reminder that moments of crisis can also be moments of opportunity, a time when the seemingly impossible becomes possible. It's a call to recognize that while our destiny may be shaped by forces beyond our control, we also have the capacity to make choices that resonate far beyond our immediate circumstances. This idea is as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. In our modern world, where uncertainty and upheaval are common, the lessons of the past continue to offer guidance and inspiration. They remind us that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, hope can prevail and change can be forged through determination and belief. As I wrap up this exploration, I want you to imagine a world without that miraculous event. Picture the Israelites, not as a people delivered by divine intervention, but as a community forced to struggle against insurmountable odds, their spirits slowly crushed by endless hardship. Consider the ripple effects on faith, culture, and history, a timeline where the narrative of liberation is replaced by one of perpetual struggle, where the symbol of hope that inspired generations is never born. This alternate reality is a stark reminder of the profound impact that a single moment can have on the course of history. It challenges us to appreciate the power of miracles, not just as fantastical events, but as symbols of the transformative potential inherent in every act of courage and faith. Reflecting on all this, I can't help but feel a renewed sense of wonder about the mysteries of our past. The story of Moses and the parting of the Red Sea, whether viewed through the lens of faith or history, remains one of the most compelling narratives ever told. It serves as a testament to the enduring human spirit, a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is always the possibility of light breaking through. And while we may never know exactly what would have happened if that miracle hadn't occurred, the very act of imagining it opens up a world of possibilities, a world where we learn to appreciate the delicate balance between destiny and choice, between divine intervention and human effort. Before I sign off, I want to leave you with a thought. Every time you face a seemingly insurmountable challenge, remember that history is filled with moments where the odds were defied by a leap of faith. Whether you see that leap as the work of the divine or the result of human resilience, the message remains the same: never underestimate the power of a single, transformative moment. I invite you to join the conversation by sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe that miracles shape our destiny, or are they simply a reflection of our deepest hopes and fears? I'd love to hear your opinions and experiences, as they are what make this journey of discovery so rich and engaging. Thank you for sticking with me through this deep dive into one of history's most intriguing what-ifs. If you enjoyed this exploration and found it thought-provoking, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the mysteries of our past. Your support not only fuels my passion for uncovering these stories, but also helps to keep the spirit of inquiry alive in our community. I look forward to reading your comments and continuing this conversation in our next video. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember that every moment of uncertainty holds the promise of discovery. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.